I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles with Brian Giles MTG. Hoo-ha! We're here with Final Fantasy spoilers. Magic the Gathering's Final Fantasy set, slated to be released in June, is going to be standard legal, and it's going to be an interesting set. So starting off, we have Y'shtola, Knights Blessed, one of the Final Fantasy Commander face cards. So a white, a blue, and a black, and one for a 2/4 cat warlock with vigilance. Beginning of each end step, if a player lost 4 more life this turn, you draw a card. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, Y'shtola deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life. And there is the full art, what I call the number set version, the anime version of the card, which will be found in collector boosters. So hoo-ha. We have Tonberry. And something to be noted, that down here in the number description of the card, it will show what specific game each card comes from. So Tonberry is a black mana for a 2/1 salamander horror that enters tapped with a stun counter. It has Chef's Knife, which means during your turn, this creature has first strike and death touch. So, hoo-ha. Then we have Summons, which are Saga creatures. So this is Summon Shiva. A creature summon, enchantment creature, Saga Elemental, for 2 blue and 3 for a 4/5, which has Heavenly Strike. Chapters 1 and 2, tap target creature opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. And chapter 3, draw a card for each tapped creature your opponents control. And it comes in this lovely anime full art version. We have Emmett Selleck Unsundered. So a blue, a black, and 1 for a 2/4 legendary elder wizard with vigilance. When it enters or attacks, draw a card, discard a card. Beginning of your upkeep, if you have 14 or more cards in your graveyard, you may transform him. And he becomes Hades, Sorcerer of Eld. A 6/6 avatar, legendary avatar with vigilance. During your turn, you may play cards from your graveyard. A card or token would be put into your graveyard from anywhere. Exile it instead. That's going to be an interesting card to play with. You're going to be putting cards into your graveyard. Then we have another flip card in Garland, Knight of Cornelia from Final Fantasy 1. which at the time of this recording, I am currently playing. Garland is the first boss that you fight in the game. So he's a black and a red for a 3/2 human knight. If you cast a non-creature spell, Surveil 1. And you can pay 2 black, 2 red, and 3 to return this card from the graveyard to the battlefield transform only as a sorcery. And he becomes Chaos the Endless. A 5/5 legendary demon with flying. When it dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. So, card that keeps coming back. Interesting for a demon-themed deck. So next up we have Sin, Spear's Punishment, black, a green, and a blue for a 7/7 legendary Leviathan avatar. When it enters or attacks, exile permanent card from the graveyard random and create a tap token that's a copy of that card. The exile card is a land card. Repeat that process. More Recursion. And this is the wood frame art that is going to be kind of like the special full art that we're going to see in this set. We have Cecil, Dark Knight, which is a black mana for a 2/3, which isn't bad. Legendary human knight with Death Touch. Has darkness whenever Cecil attack. Deals damage, you lose that much life. If your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, untap him and transform him. He becomes Cecil, Redeemed Paladin, a legendary human knight with lifelink. That's a 4/4. That's protect when he attacks. Other attacking creatures gain indestructible till end of turn. Again, there's the anime game version from Final Fantasy IV. We have Stiltskin Moogle Merchant. White mana for a 1/2 legendary Moogle with lifelink. You can spend 2 generic, tap them, target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control. If they do, you draw a card. Kupo! Sorry. And again, it comes in the wood frame version. And this is from Final Fantasy IX. So here's Titus, Yuna's Guardian. So a green, a white, and a blue for a 3/3 legendary human warrior. In combat on your turn, you may move a counter from target creature you control onto a second target creature you control. Whenever one or more creatures you control with counters on them deal combat damage to a player, you may draw a card and proliferate. Do this only once each turn. Well, you don't want stuff getting too out of control. But It's solid. And I remember some cards that make like shield counters and flying counters. So you're going to see a lot of different counters, keyword counters, probably in this. This is one of the face commanders of one of the commander decks. So next up, this is the bonus sheet cards. So a reprint of Ancient Copper Dragon, which is Dragon of Mount Gulg, which is a character from Final Fantasy I, which I have not yet at the time of this recording faced, but that's next on my list. So it's the Ancient Copper Dragon for 2 red and 4 for a 6/5 Elder Dragon with flying. Deals combat damage to a player. You create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result. Roll a d20. Then we have another thing off the bonus sheet, which is Yuffie Kisaragi, which is Yuriko the Tiger Shadow. Blue, black, and 1 for a 1/3 legendary human ninja with Commander Ninjutsu. Whenever ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library. With that card in your hand, each opponent loses life equal to that card's mana value. So this comes from Final Fantasy VII. Next up, we have another one of the face commanders in Cloud X Soldier. So red, green, white, and 2 for a 4/4 legendary human soldier mercenary. Ew. Mercenary love. He has haste. When it enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to it. Whenever he attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature you control. If Cloud has power 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens. I can see this getting out of hand with all sorts of shenanigans. +1/+1 counters. Definitely something like Commander's Place probably gonna pop up in this, or something else from some of the other sets we've seen. I can see all sorts of shenanigans going on with it. This is gonna be the one commander deck everybody's going to be thirsting after. And speaking of thirsting, there's the Thirst Trap anime version of Cloud, because you anime heads can't contain yourself. Now we have Terra, Herald of Hope, which is black, a white, and a red for 3/3 legendary human wizard warrior. When in combat on your turn, mill 2 cards and it gains flying until end of turn. Terra deals combat damage to a player. It pays 2 generic. When you do, return creature card with power 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. And of course, you have the anime version from this is from she's from Final Fantasy VI. So we have side quest, catch a fish, a white and 2 for an enchantment that reads, gain your upkeep with the top card of your library. It's an artifact or creature card. Reveal it, put it into your hand. You put a card into your hand this way, create a food token, and transform the enchantment. It then becomes Cooking Campsite, where you can tap it to add a white mana, pay 3 and tap it and sacrifice an artifact to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Activate only as a sorcery. Next up, we have for the face card of one half of the starter decks. So we have Sephiroth, Planet's Heir, blue, black, and 4 for a 4/4 legendary human avatar soldier. He has Vigilance. When enters creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 till end of turn. Okay. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Sephiroth. So, weenie board wipe, Sephiroth gets huge. Hoo-haw! Then we have another version of Cloud. Cloud, Planet's Champion, which is a red, white, and 3 for a 4/4 human soldier mercenary. During your turn, as long as Cloud is equipped, he has double strike and indestructible. Mithril Code, anyone? Any number of other artifacts that are indestructible. Equip abilities you activate. Target Cloud costs 2 less to activate. Ew. All sorts of fun there. Next up, we have Saz's Chocobo. Now, chocobos are very easily recognizable. You know, they're a mode of transportation in many of the Final Fantasy games. So, green mana for a 0/1 bird has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So a little creature that gets bigger with more land. Hoo-haw. Fetchies, anybody? Land destruction, anyone? Hoo-haw. And finally, we get to the most talked about card of this set. And people are just clamoring over this card because of what it does. This is Jumbo Cactuar. He's a beefy 2 green and 5 for a 1/7 plant. Okay, so your plant head's going to be fun. He has 10,000 needles. So whenever this creature attacks, it gets 9,999 plus 9,999 plus 0 until end of turn. So he becomes a 10,007 creature until end of turn when he attacks. He's not easy to get rid of because of his... I mean, he dies to removal, but that 7 power is going to, you're going to have straight removal to get rid of him. You don't want this thing attacking you and then being flinged at you or something. Or heaven forbid, have it being turned into, give it something like, what's that? Where you can attack all the players at once. Like, no. So that's all we have for Final Fantasy. Definitely going to be an interesting set. And from what I understand, there's going to be even another version of Cloud in the main set. Because Cloud Planet's Champion is specifically for the starter deck. A lot like they had for the starter deck of Lord of the Rings. So this is going to be interesting. Might see another Sephiroth for certain. And you got the Cloud from the Commander deck. So you're going to have like 3 different versions of Cloud. But Cloud was a highly popular character. And we're at 21 minutes. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. And we'll see you on the next video.